Welcome back to Strength for Tomorrow Radio with me, Stuart Thompson. Delighted that you could join us, and it's been a little while. I think the last one was with Nathan, actually, which seems ages ago. So it's November. It's probably time we did another one. And today I want us to think about, or I'm going to share with you a few thoughts on how we can prepare to do our best in a total. In January, I think it's the 17th of January, Saturday, we are going to be hosting a winter total. And what that means is the guys in our gym are going to come in and try and lift a 1 rep max for each of the 4 big lifts. So the squat, the bench, the deadlift, and the overhead press. And there's no pressure on it. It's not a competition. We're not going to have a scoreboard or anything like that. But it's just a chance for guys to come in and do themselves proud and see how they can get on lifting for 1 rep. Quite often people will come in to me and say, Stuart, I really want to do a 1 rep. Can I see what I can lift today in the squat or the bench or whatever? And I'd be like, no, you cannot. And the reason I say that is because when you do a 1 rep max, it's not training. And what I mean by that is it's not going to make you stronger for the next time. It's not going to create enough of a stimulus to make you stronger for the next time you try and train. It is going to be taxing. It is going to be hard, but it's not training. It's performance. It's a 1 rep max. It's literally what it says on the tin. So if I'm getting paid to train you, I'm going to train you. I'm not going to charge you and then say, right, let's have a secret competition and I don't tell you that it is actually a competition. That's why we do training and not 1 rep maxes. But because people have been asking for it and because it's nice to have something to look forward to after Christmas and in the dearth of January, the dark month of the year, nobody likes January, right? It's my birthday. You should like it. It's like one of the greatest months of the year, if you ask me. Terrible month to be born in. Can't do anything. Can't have a barbecue. Can't have a bouncy castle. It's awful. Really, really bad. But we're going to have 1 rep max afternoon and you're going to come in and just give it a go. And you can do all the lifts. You can do some of the lifts. You can do one of the lifts. Whatever you want to do, you can come in and do your best and make yourself proud. Make your kids proud. Make your family proud. Make your dog proud. And nobody can ever take it away from you that you lifted that weight. Okay? Now, if you aren't from the gym world, you probably think it's really weird. And it kind of is. But it's going to be a lot of fun for us. We're going to get some music pumping. We're going to get some food in. And we're going to have a good time on that Saturday afternoon. But I thought it'd be good to give you some tips and some advice on how to prepare and how to do your best in a total. So if you're trying to train for an event like a strength event, what could you do? And we might break this up into 2 parts so I can release the next part maybe next month in December, whenever you lose motivation and you can't be bothered. So the first tip is get training. If you know you've got an event coming up in 10 or 12 weeks, you need to get training. You need to start training right now. You need to dial in your program and you need to have a chat with me or one of your coaches and say, am I doing what I need to be doing to do my best for this event? If this is the one thing you want to focus on, and for some people it might not be, you might have something else on your agenda, that's absolutely fine. But if you're trying to do this, you need to make sure that you are dialing in your training and you're starting to take this kind of seriously, okay? And again, it's not too serious, but if you want to take it a little bit more seriously, these are the tips to do it, okay? Get training. So get training and get training consistently. We'll talk a little bit more about that later on, but if you're not training, you might want to start training and you might want to make sure that you're going, okay? Number 2, eat more protein. So I harp on about it all the time. This goes for whether you're trying to lose weight or you're trying to gain weight or you're trying to get stronger or you're just trying to be healthier and manage your metabolic health. Get eating more protein. I don't mean 1 egg for breakfast. I mean at least 3 or 4 eggs. There's about 6 to 7 grams per egg. I have a 2-year-old and she eats an egg for breakfast every morning, okay? At least she used to. She's stopped now because she's a bit fussy. But that's a different topic altogether. We'll talk about that at another stage. Anybody got any tips to get your toddler to eat more food? Food you make for them, preferably. But eat more protein. So that goes for breakfast, it goes for lunch, it goes for dinner, it goes for snacks. Eat more protein. You need at least a fist. See that there? See that? I need at least a fist of protein in every single meal. Maybe even a fist and a half, 2 fists for guys, okay? You need a lot of protein. It's satiating. It helps you rebuild and repair cells in your body. There's protein in every cell in your body, and you need to make sure that you are giving it a steady supply and that your body is going to use it in the right way. If you're training, and you will be, your body is going to use it. It's not going to turn to fat, like the theory, like the rumors. It doesn't happen. Protein is like the last macronutrient that will turn to fat. Your body's more like to pee it out before it turns to fat, okay? it's more likely it's going to be the carbohydrates and the fat that's going to make you put on weight in the bad way. Okay. Next thing is don't skip workouts. It kind of goes back to number one, but don't skip workouts. If you can make it to a workout, get to a workout. Make it a priority. Okay. I know we all get busy over Christmas. I know we all get busy during the week, and there's lots of other things that turn up. I know the feeling. I near enough live in the gym. This is my office. My gym is just out. The gym's just out there. I can think of a bazillion things I should and could be doing to build the business in here, like doing this podcast, than training. Okay, but I've got a spare hour, so I thought I would do this now because somebody cancelled on me. So this is why we're putting this out right now. Don't skip workouts. So unless you're ill, unless you're of a, I don't know, your leg falls off, I suppose that's acceptable. Unless your head falls off, unless you've got a contagious disease. No, but realistically, if you've got a bit of a cold, I would suggest try and train through it if you can. You know yourself, right? You know times when you can and you can't. If it goes into your chest and you've got a chest infection, you need antibiotic. Fair enough. Have a rest. You need a rest. Your body needs that recovery. But don't skip workouts just because you got, I don't know, you can't be bothered going out of the house in the night. If you skip workouts, it's so difficult to keep progress going. I know this from my own training. Whenever I got to my strongest that I ever was, I was really rigid and strict with my training. I had a daughter born in the middle of it, and I was still like, by hook or by crook, don't care how little sleep I got, I was going to train. And I did. Now, you could say, well, that wasn't very wise, Stuart. But on the upside, I did get stronger than I ever was. Now, I might have got stronger if I had gotten more sleep. Fair enough. But my point is, if I missed a workout, I knew it made it 10 times harder to lift the next time. Okay, so if I've got 3 workouts a week, missing that one on a Wednesday or Thursday, it's going to scupper me for the weekend. Squats are going to feel heavier. Deadlift's going to feel harder. If I can keep consistently doing it, everything just feels better. I'll be making more steady progress. If I'm going up 2 or 2.5 kilos a session, instead of going up 5 kilos a week, I'm going to be going up 7.5 kilos a week. Okay, so if instead of going up 10 kilograms every 2 weeks, I'm going to be going up 15 kilograms every 2 weeks. And that makes a massive difference over time in terms of the progress that you're going to make. So don't skip workouts if you can avoid it. I know things come up. We all get it. We all things come up. But if you can get there, make sure you get there. Eat enough food and don't miss meals. That's number 4. And I think that's really, really important. Not just the protein, we've talked about, but getting in the total calories, making sure you're eating enough. So if you're doing lots of other things like cardio or whatever it is you're doing, you're going to be expending calories and you need to replenish that. So don't be skipping meals and make sure you're eating enough. One of the biggest detractors from my bench press was whenever I skipped the meal, and I could feel it the next day. Whenever I tried the bench press, there's nowhere to hide. There's no negotiating with it. It's not like a squat or a deadlift where you can kind of grind through it. It wasn't going to go. It just felt way harder than it should have. And why make training any harder than it has to be? Eat enough calories, eat enough protein, eat enough food, and don't skip meals. Okay? Even if you have a bad meal, right? Say your diet's terrible over the weekend, make sure you get enough protein in and make sure you're still in a healthy calorie, at least balance, and maybe even a little bit of a surplus if you're eating good food. Okay? That's not an excuse to eat more sugar. It's not an excuse to eat more junk. Okay? Eat enough calories from quality sources, whole foods, non-processed, non-refined carbohydrates, non-sugary. Okay? Sleep more is tip number 5, and number 6, very similar. Sleep better. I understand, again, if you're a parent, if you're older, and sleep quality is beyond your control, so little minions come into the bed in the middle of the night and disturb you, or there's a baby crying, or whatever it is, I get it. It's hard to get an unbroken night's sleep, but go to bed earlier. And this is advice for myself I'm giving right now. It's not just for you. I need to go to bed earlier. I need to be more disciplined, and I'm going to perform better. I'm going to do better when it comes to the total in January. And if I add that up across the 10 weeks that we probably have left, that's what's going to happen. The other thing is sleep better. So what are we doing during the day to prepare ourselves to sleep better at nighttime? If you heard a funny sound there, that was me drinking some water. What are we doing during the day? So if you're taking caffeine, I take caffeine myself. I would suggest tapering it off around lunchtime so your body can metabolize it and get rid of it, and then it's not going to interrupt your sleep or interfere with it. This will affect different people to different extents. We've done a sleeping episode before, but how are you setting yourself up to successfully sleep at night? Maybe you need to not drink too much before bed so you don't have to get up and pee in the middle of the night. Maybe you need to have a darker room, less lights, less artificial light, less blue light, your phone screen. Maybe you need to charge your phone in a different room. All these sorts of things. Maybe you need to stop looking at screens so late at night because your eyeballs are lit up and then your brain's lit up. All those things will impact your sleep quality. Maybe you need a little bit of a supplement. Maybe you need magnesium. I don't know. Chat to your GP. But trying to get high quality sleep is so important. And there are things we can do during the day that will set us up for success at nighttime whenever we try to go to sleep. So maybe some people even suggest cleaning your room. I'm not a fan of that one myself, but apparently it works for some people. I don't know how you can tell that your room's messy when the lights are out and it's dark enough. That's the other thing. Make sure it's dark. Make sure it's nice and dark. But take care of that. Sleep hygiene. Make sure your environment is controlled and that you are in a good position to get maximum sleep quality and sleep quantity when possible. Number 7, expect setbacks. So I know what's going to happen. We're going to get after Christmas and people are like, oh, I'm not going to do that total because, well, I ate like an idiot over Christmas. And it's like, well, join the club, mate. We all ate like idiots over Christmas probably. We say we're not going to every year, but we still do it, right? But expect setbacks. Expect yourself to get a cold. Expect yourself to, maybe there's a bereavement in the family. You're going to miss sessions. Those are occasions, and those are things where there's going to be times you're going to have to miss training. Now, we said don't skip sessions earlier, and that's unnecessarily skip sessions. There's going to be setbacks. You're going to get sick. I'm sorry, I don't mean to put that on you, the prophesying, but it's the winter time. Realistically, we're going to probably get sick to some extent. Maybe you get a niggle. Maybe you get a little bit of an injury. It's just life, right? But expect setbacks. Don't be try and have that in perspective that there's going to be a setback, at least one, between now and the total. So don't let it throw you off. Don't let it put you off, and don't let it discourage you. Yes, it might affect what the number you're hoping to hit on the 17th of January, but don't be surprised when there are setbacks. Expect them and deal with them and work around them. Have a chat to your coach, and we will come up with a plan and will help get your mindset focused in again. Last one we're going to talk about is focus on form and concentrate. Okay, I forgot to finish that one off. I don't know what concentrate. Concentrate on what? We'll make sense of it. Focus on form. So, in an effort to try and put more weight on the bar and trying to hit a big number, what I tend to see is people will start bouncing the weight off their chest if they're doing a bench press. They'll bounce the barbell off their rib cage like a trampoline, which is not a good idea if you're trying to do it safely for a start, but also do it effectively. Another thing is maybe not going deep enough in your squat. So making sure that you're dialing in your technique. There's no point turning up in the day and going for a big heavy squat and you haven't got those bottom 2 inches of depth in you because you didn't train it the previous 8 or 10 weeks or 12 weeks. Make sure your form is on point. Make sure you're squatting deep enough. You're squatting with control. Make sure your deadlift, you're standing it up all the way. Make sure you're setting the bar down every time, not bouncing it off the floor. Make sure your overhead press, you're not bouncing it out of the knees. Make sure you're locking it out at the top. Make sure you're not doing a double dip. All those things are important, and you want to be able to turn up on the 17th and actually do a legitimate lift and not fail 3 times or 4 times or 5 times because you're not doing the reps properly. I don't want to be that guy on the day, and your judge doesn't want to be the guy on the day telling you, sorry, it's a no rep. I'm sorry. I know you've trained for 12 weeks, but you didn't do it properly, so therefore it doesn't count. I'm sorry, right? Go deeper, expect more of yourself, and concentrate on the technique. Focus on the form. Dial those things in now, because on the day, you don't want to be the guy who's disappointed. You don't want to be the girl that's disappointed. Okay, so make sure that you are focusing on those things. What else is there? Yeah, I suppose with your bench press, make sure you lock out the arms at the top. You've got control at all times. Those are the big things I think that you need to think about. We've got a load more, probably like another 7 or 8 tips, but I think we will leave it there and we will do another episode like this maybe in a few weeks' time. But thanks for listening. Hopefully this was helpful. Let me know if it is. Let me know if you have any questions. And I will see you next time on Strength for Tomorrow Radio. Thank you. Don't forget to train today so you can be stronger tomorrow.